At the beginning of the drama, we see the first female lead, Jia Lang, who has come to a new city for university admission. On the way, she calls her mom and says, "I have arrived, and I am really liking this city." Then she starts looking at a photo of her crush who studies at the same university where she is going to take admission today. After reaching the college, Xiaolang buys a basin and a mug for herself. Just then, her eyes fall on a very beautiful girl coming from the front. While looking at her, the basin slips from her hand. She goes to pick it up, as it had rolled near that girl. That girl's name is Fan Xiao. She lowers her glasses, looks at Xiaolang, gives a smile, and walks away. Then Xiaolang goes to the college counselor, Mr. Mai, for admission. Mr. Mai tells her, "You can go there and pay your fees." As soon as she turns around, she sees her crush, Yi Ran. She is happily going to meet him, but suddenly Fan Xiao comes in between. When Xiaolang moves her aside to look again, Yi Ran had already left. Then Fan Xiao goes to Mr. Mai. He tells her, "I am the counselor of this university. Whenever you have any problem related to studies or fees, just tell me." Fan Xiao says, "Thank you, Morris, for all this," and comes to the cashier counter to pay her fees. There is a very long line there. Just then, a girl comes in the middle and says to everyone, "I am getting late, so can I stand in the middle of the line?" But no one was giving her permission. Then Fan Xiao first tells her, "You can come and stand here." But when that girl comes to her, Fan Xiao says to her, "Don't you know manners? This is the first day of our college. How can you do all this today?" Fan Xiao has brought many bags here. She has hired a volunteer to take care of them. That boy's friend, whose name is Qingzhou, arrives there and says to him, "This is the 5th year of college and you are still doing this same work? There is not even a bit of seriousness in you. You sent me to meet the investor and then you didn't even come there yourself. How will I be able to do all this alone?" Hearing all these things, Qingzhou gets bored, so he diverts the talk and says, "Your shirt is very good," and he starts praising it. Then he asks, "How was your meeting with the investor?" Qingzhou tells him, "The meeting was good, and he wants to see us in the second round as well, but right now my first priority is my office, which we have to find." His friend says, "Yes, I know how our hostel is. I will definitely have to find one." Then he remembers, "I forgot to turn off my heater." So he tells Qingzhou, "Take care of these bags," and goes toward the room. Then we see Fan Xiao, who comes to the cashier counter to pay her fees. But that lady tells her, "See, your card has been suspended." So she says, "This cannot happen. Please try again." Then that girl with whom Fan Xiao had spoken rudely a while ago says to her, "Move away from here quickly. You are wasting everyone else's time." Hearing this, Fan Xiao moves away. Then she calls the bank manager and asks, "How did my card get suspended?" So he tells her, "Your card holder is your dad, so you should ask him about this." Then she goes to her bags and sees that Qingzhou is sitting on top of her bag. She asks him, "Who are you?" So Qingzhou tells her, "I am the friend of the person who was taking care of your bags. He told me to take care of them." Fan Xiao says, "Can you move off my bags?" So he says, "Yes, why not? I would be very happy to do this." Saying this, he gets up to leave, so Fan Xiao says, "Can you help me in lifting these bags?" Hearing this, he comes back but leaves after placing a piece of cloth on her bag, which belonged to Fan Xiao herself. Seeing this, she thinks, how much attitude does he have? Then Fan Xiao lifts her suitcases herself and goes to her hostel room, and there she meets her other roommate, Jia Qian, who also helps her in lifting her luggage. Jia Qian's nature is very good. She says to Fan Xiao, "If you are short of space to keep the suitcases, then you can keep them in my spot." Jia Qian introduces her to another roommate whose name is Shu Min. She says, "Hello," to Fan Xiao. Jia Qian tells Fan Xiao about Shu Min. "See, she is also our roommate. She has just seen her mom and dad leaving from here. That's why she is a little upset." They start talking to each other. Just then, Xiaolang arrives. Seeing her, Jia Qian becomes very happy and says, "Now all 4 roommates have come to our room." Xiaolang also tells everyone, "I will tell you about myself." Jia Qian introduces her to Fan Xiao and Shu Min. Shu Min's eyes fall on Fan Xiao's belongings, so she says, "All these are branded. They must be very expensive, right?" So she says, "I don't know much about this." Then she is surprised to see her pen and says, "See, this is very, very expensive. Its price will be almost as much as a car. Who gave this to you?" Then Fan Xiao remembers, "My dad ordered this pen from abroad and gifted it to me." And she asks Shu Min, "Will its price really be as much as a car?" So Shu Min tells her, "Yes, it will be that expensive." On this, Fan Xiao says in shock, "Only a fool can buy such an expensive pen? All these are acts of stupidity." Hearing this, Shu Min says, "This is life. The one who wants it isn't getting it, and the one who is getting it doesn't value it at all. We all live in the same room, but our destiny is so different." After a while, Fan Xiao gets a message. Those who have not paid the fees might face problems in their studies ahead. Seeing this, she becomes a little worried. Other people were going out to eat, Jia Qian tells her. "Come along." But Fan Xiao says, "No, I won't." Now Fan Xiao is in great need of money, so she posts that pen online to sell it. Xiaolang sees this. Further, we see that Fan Xiao gets a call from her mom who says to her, "You know tomorrow is your dad's wedding. You have to call him and talk very nicely because his business employees and our relatives will also be there. Fan Xiao has to call him at her mom's insistence. She calls and says, I am Mr. Fan's daughter and today is a very happy day for me. I am very happy for Dad that he has found his happiness. Then she tells him, I have sent some special gifts for the bride which are under the guest tables. Seeing this, her dad becomes very happy. She disconnects the call, but later they find out that the gifts Fan Xiao had given contained torn shoes because of which her dad and stepmother had to be embarrassed in front of everyone. For this, Fan Xiao's mom scolds her, so she says to her, I don't like my dad and that's why I did all this. Your divorce has just happened, but then how is that lady 3 months pregnant? Mom says, did I ask you to do all this for me? If you keep doing this, who will bear your future expenses? So Fan Xiao says, we don't need to depend on Dad. But still, Mom explains to her and tells her, call Dad and say sorry again. The next day, Xiaolang sees Yiran. She is waving her hand to give him a high five, but he ignores her and walks away. Seeing this, Xiaolang is a little upset. Here we see Fan Xiao, who is putting her clothes in the washing machine to wash them. Then she sees other girls are washing their shoes in it too. So she takes her clothes and comes back. Just then Jia Tian arrives. She tells Fan Xiao and Xiaolang, we have to pay the electricity bill. You guys give your share of the money, I will arrange the rest. On this, Xiaolang says, okay, I will give it. But Fan Xiao says, they cut off the hot water supply on the very first day. Even after that, they are asking us for the bill? How shameless they are. On this, Xiaolang says, so what do you think that you will get everything for free here? There is a little argument between them over this, and Fan Xiao says, I am not going to stay here anymore. She gives her share of the money and leaves from there. Then Fan Xiao comes to see an apartment. Another boy, whose name is Qingzhou, also wants the same room and says, I like this room too. He is Fan Xiao's school senior. Fan Xiao says to him, you have been my senior in school, so I am sorry to tell you that I have decided to take this apartment. But Qingzhou says, I will pay 6 months rent for this apartment in advance. So Fan Xiao says, I can give the advance for the whole year right now. Now, therefore, the apartment is given to her. Just then, Fan Xiao gets a call from Mr. Mai. He says, all the students have submitted the fees, but when will you? She makes an excuse. My mom and dad are currently abroad, and I accidentally lost my bank card. As soon as they come back, I will submit the fees. The next day, Fan Xiao again comes to meet that landlord's manager and says, now I don't want to take the apartment, so please return my advance payment to me. But he tells her, I cannot return the advance payment. Therefore, Fan Xiao thinks, if I give this apartment to someone else on rent, I can get my advance payment money from them. She gives the apartment to Qingzhou, but after going there, Qingzhou finds out, I cannot use this place for office work, whereas he thought, I want the place for office work only. Therefore, he also refuses to take the apartment, and now his advance payment is gone, for which he gets very angry at Fan Xiao. So Fan Xiao gives him her expensive pen and says, you can sell this and take another apartment. The next day, everyone is in the classroom. Fan Xiao, looking at Xiaolang, is thinking, she is the only girl in our hostel who has the courage to go out without makeup. At night, Shumin says to Xiaolang, I am a tarot reader. You choose one of these cards. So Xiaolang says, I don't believe in these things. But still, she chooses a card. Shumin, looking at the card, tells Xiaolang, your love relationship will not be successful and you will have to wander here and there for work. Because of this, you will remain upset and you will have to live alone. Hearing this much, Xiaolang says, that's enough now, keep quiet. She had said she didn't believe in these things. But after hearing Shuman's words, she becomes very upset. In the morning, Xiaolang's mom calls her and says angrily, everyone here knows that you are a good student. Still, why did you choose that university? You could have gotten admission to any good university. But Xiaolang says, I want to study in this university. And then she tells her, tomorrow, all us students are going for army training, so it's possible my phone might be off there, so don't be worried. Then everyone comes to the mountains for army training. After a lot of practice, they get food which is not good at all. Xiaolang and all her friends want to eat something spicy. Just then, Yiran brings spicy sauce for them and tells Xiaolang's friends, I am Xiaolang's school friend. He gives them the sauce and leaves, but then all of Xiaolang's friends start teasing her, asking, who is Yiran to you? Is he your boyfriend? She says very happily, he's not like that. He was my senior in school, and by coincidence, I got admission to the same university where he is. She thought, I have come to this university only for Yiran, and told that lie. At night, Yiran messages Xiaolang and says, go out with me. Both talk for a while, and then Xiaolang comes back to her room, so Shumin asks her, did you go on a date? You came back so early. She tells everyone, tomorrow I will take you all near the mountain. Yiran has called all of us there. And she also tells everyone, Yiran is my first crush. The next day, everyone reaches the place Yiran called them to at night. There, Yiran had also done a little decoration. Then he tells them, I am going to confess my feelings for someone here today whom I have liked for a long time. Hearing this, Xia Lang and her 3 friends were thinking, Yiran is definitely going to propose to Xia Lang. That's why they were all very happy for Xia Lang. And Xia Lang was the happiest of all. But Yiran proposes to Fan Yao there. Seeing this, they all get shocked. Tears had come into Xia Lang's eyes. Seeing this, Fan Zhao does not give any answer to Yiran and comes back from there with Xia Lang. The next day, everyone comes back to the campus. Xi Lang was very, very hurt. The one she has liked for so long chose someone else right in front of her. But when she reaches her room, she sees a gift sent by her mom. She had sent a dress for Xia Lang, wearing which her mood gets a little better. After a while, Fan Xiao and the other friends together give her a birthday surprise, which makes her even happier. In the morning, we see Xu Min, who is talking to her boyfriend from France. She talks to him while making her other friends listen so that they know how much her boyfriend loves her. She tells everyone, my boyfriend is coming to meet me. Then she goes to the cafe to meet her boyfriend, but her boyfriend had not come at all. Just then, the waiter comes and says to her, please can you go and sit at a single table? Because this table is only for couples. So Xu Min says to him, no, I will sit here and my boyfriend is about to arrive. At his request, Xu Min orders soup for herself. Seeing him, she starts fighting with that boy again. Why is this so expensive? So he says, you can talk to the manager about this. She calls that number, then the call comes to him and she finds out he is the manager here and his name is Zhou Yu. Xu Min goes into the washroom to call her boyfriend. By then, Zhou Yu also arrives there and hears her talk. Xu Min was saying to her boyfriend, you promised to come today, then why didn't you come? But just then, her boyfriend breaks up with her. At this, Xu Min starts crying even more. Then Xu Min comes out, so Zhou Yu says to her, would you like to try a drink? But Xu Min says to him angrily, I don't want it. Who knows, you might have mixed poison in it. Zhou Yu says, why would we want to give poison to our customers? Anyway, it is a rule of our restaurant that whoever has had a breakup, we offer them a free drink. But Xu Min was very upset. She does not stop to have the drink. Xu Min is coming out of the convenience store. Just then, a basketball player named Qi Mu bumps into her, because of which Xu Min falls and gets an injury in her leg. Jia Qian is also there, who asks her, you had gone to meet your boyfriend, but what are you doing here? Then Chimu takes her to the hospital. Xu Min comes back to the room and takes out tarot cards to see her luck. She gets very shocked after choosing a card, so Jia Qian feels, maybe something is wrong. So she starts explaining to her, don't take these things seriously. A person's luck is in their own hands. But Xu Min tells her, according to this, I have found my Prince Charming. Jia Qian also tells Xia Lang and Fan Xiao about this. According to the tarot cards, Xu Min has found her partner, and she has even met him. So Xia Lang asks, what happened to her boyfriend from France? Will she betray him? So Fan Zhao says, I feel that Xu Min has broken up with her boyfriend. Anyway, she was not happy with him at all. The 3 of them were sitting in the room when they found medicine there. Upon searching online, they find out the medicine is for heart disease. Jia Qian says it means Xu Min has heart disease, that's why she is so weak. Fan Xiao says maybe that's why her parents are so overprotective of her. After knowing this, those 3 also start taking very good care of Xu Min. They start doing all her work like washing clothes, cooking food, everything for her. But after a few days, Jia Qian says, I have been watching Xu Min for so long, but I have never seen her taking medicine. Hearing this, suspicion arises in their minds too. And then Jia Qian asks Xu Min, do you really have some heart disease? On this, Xu Min tells a lie. Yes, I have heart disease, so that they would continue to take care of her like that. Xu Min felt, Chimu is the best partner for me. That's why she always starts following him, and to get close to him, she also joins the cheerleading team. From there, Xu Min's friends find out she does not have any heart disease, and the manager of the cheerleading group tells them, Xu Min is perfectly fit. She just keeps roaming around handsome boys. Actually, that girl thought, I do not like Xu Min because Chimu is my boyfriend. The next day, that girl was bad-mouthing Xu Min during live streaming. So Fan Xiao and Jia Qian go and stop her live streaming. Fan Xiao says to her, Xu Min joined the team only for exercise, not to trap your boyfriend. Anyway, he looks so bad. Why would she want to make a boy like him her boyfriend? She already has a boyfriend. So that girl says, what kind of boyfriend would a girl like this have? Do you guys think I am a fool? Just then, Xu Min gets a call from someone, and that person tells her, put the call on speaker. As soon as she does so, Zhou Yu speaks on the call. Baby, did you like the purse I sent? If you didn't like it, I will send you another one. Seeing this, that girl is a bit shocked. Then Xu Min comes to ask Zhou Yu, why did you call and say all this? He tells her, I am also a first-year photography student of this university, and I called just to help you. Saying this, he leaves from there. In the next scene, all the students are in class when a video comes on their phones in which a boy was kissing a girl and both were from their university. Seeing that video, all the students start making very bad comments about that couple. How can these people do this in this university? Do they not care about other students, what effect this will have on them? In the video, the faces of both people were not clearly visible. Just then, the teacher calls Jia Qian to the office. Seeing this, everyone starts doubting her and says, the girl in the video is probably Jia Qian. Fan Xiao was coming back to the room, then some girls were busy talking about Jia Qian. So Fan Xiao explains to them, there is no proof that Jia Qian is in that video, so stop spreading rumors. We are all girls. We should respect each other. Here, Jia Qian is with Mr. Mai. Mr. Mai asks her, there is only one extra key to the library which was with you. I don't feel good asking this, yet will you tell me if it is you in that video? On this, Jia Qian shakes her head in denial and tells him, I was studying in the library that night. On this, Mr. Mai says, you know which night it is, that means you also know who was there. But Jia Qian does not tell them anything. Mr. Mai tries very hard to explain, I want to solve this problem, and if I am not able to do this, the principal will come here. The problem will become even more complicated. On this, Jia Qian says, Sir, shouldn't the person who shot and posted the video get some punishment? So Mr. Mai tells her, the school is investigating that person. But those who have broken the rules of the university, you know about them, but you are not telling. By doing so, you are putting not only yourself but all of us in trouble. Jia Qian thought, I do not want anyone else to get into trouble because of me. That's why she says, I will not tell you who was in the video. When she comes to the room, Fan Xiao tells her, we know you don't want to put someone else in trouble. That's why you are quiet, but you should also think about yourself. Have you seen how people are commenting about you on the internet? On this, Jia Qian says, those comments don't make any difference to me. Anyway, the one who has not committed any mistake is not affected by people's talk. Jialang says, yes, we know you are not in that video. But who is in it, you know that, and you should tell it. When Jia Qian doesn't tell anything, Fan Xiao comes to Qingzhou so that he can clear that video, and through that, they can find out who is in the video, and with this, she can get Jia Qian out of this matter. Then we see Jia Qian, who was walking on the road and thinking about everyone's words. Right there in a flashback, it is shown Qimu and his girlfriend came to the library with Jia Qian that night, and the video is of those two. But Jia Qian thought, if the university finds out about this, they will be expelled. That's why Jia Qian is keeping this a secret. Then Xiaolong and Xu Min, with the help of Qingzhou, find out the person who had posted that video, and then Mr. Mai hands him over to the police. Qingzhou clears that video in which now the shirt the girl was wearing was clearly visible. Xu Min, seeing it, tells them this is a cheerleading shirt which the team members have. They find out the girl is Qimu's girlfriend. But Fan Xiao says, this way, all the girls in cheerleading will be doubted. Hearing this, Jia Qian says, I have a plan. The next day, these four come to class wearing cheerleading shirts. On the other hand, we see Qimu's girlfriend, who is under a lot of stress. She felt, now my truth will come out in front of everyone. So she thought, I will commit suicide on the terrace. Then these four friends together distribute the same shirts to other girls, and all the girls of the university had worn the same shirt, even some boys. And pictures were also posted. When Qimu's girlfriend sees those posts, she is very happy because now no one will doubt her. Seeing this, she also cancels the plan to commit suicide. In the next scene, we see Xia Lang attending class. Just then, Yiran goes and sits near her and starts talking to her. In the course of talking, he says to her, stupid. Later, Xia Lang asks Xu Min and Jia Qian, a boy who likes a girl called another girl stupid, so what does it mean? Why did he say so? So Jia Qian says, it must mean that the girl is really stupid. On this, Xu Min says to her, if this remains your thinking, you will not get any boyfriend. Then she tells Xia Lang, if a boy called a girl stupid, it means that he is trying to get into a relationship with her. Hearing this, Xia Lang becomes a little happy. At night, when Xia Lang was sitting with Fan Xiao and studying, just then she gets a message from Yiran. Can we sit and study together in tomorrow's class? On this, she says, okay, and then says to Fan Xiao, can you help me a little? She tells her about Yiran and says, he's going to sit with me tomorrow. That's why Xia Lang wanted to go all dressed up. Fan Xiao helps her in getting ready. The next day in the canteen, Shu Min and Fan Xiao see Jialang and Yi Ran together. Seeing them, Shu Min says to Fan Xiao, I don't like Yi Ran at all. Immediately after you refused, he is trying to make a relationship with Xiaolang. After this, when Fan Xiao was leaving the canteen, just then, they see Yi Ran talking to two girls. After Yi Ran leaves, they start following those girls to hear their conversation. One of those girls says, Yi Ran asked me to watch a movie with him yesterday. He knew that I was going on a date with someone else, yet he asked me. What a useless man he is. Later, Fan Xiao learns from Xiaolang, I am going to watch a movie with Yi Ran tomorrow. Hearing this, Shu Min asks, did he not feel ashamed to ask you for a movie? So Xiaolang says, forget what has passed. I will go to watch the movie tomorrow. Fan Xiao says to her, I feel that Yi Ran is not as good a boy as you think about him. Hearing this, Xiaolang gets a little upset and says, I will go tomorrow. I don't want to think anything else. After this, Fan Xiao talks to Qingzhou and his friend about this. I know my friend is getting into trouble, but I'm not able to do anything for her. So Qingzhou tells her, if you cannot stop her, then solve her problem yourself. Hearing this, Fan Xiao thinks for a while and then immediately leaves from there. Here we see Xiaolang, who had reached to watch the movie after getting ready and was waiting for Yi Ran to arrive. Just then, she gets a message from Yi Ran, I have some important work because of which I will not be able to come. Seeing this, she is a little upset and starts leaving from there. Just then, Fan Xiao sends her Yi Ran's picture in which he was in the theater itself. Seeing this, Xiaolang immediately goes back and sees Yi Ran and Fan Xiao are together. Seeing this, she is very, very hurt and leaves from there. Actually, Fan Xiao thought, I will call Yi Ran here so I can show Xiaolang. Yi Ran does not love you. He just wants a girl for pass the time. When Fan Xiao comes home, Xiaolang says to her angrily, you know how important Yi Ran is for me, yet why did you date him? She says, sorry, to her. So Xiaolang says, I don't want your sorry. Fan Xiao says, you don't know what kind of boy Yi Ran is. At the end, he will only hurt you. Xiaolang says, you told me that you don't like him, then why did you do this? When you found out that Yi Ran is dating me, you got jealous, that's why, right? On this matter, Fan Xiao tells her, Yi Ran was going to go on a date with someone else earlier. After being rejected from there, he chose you. I didn't tell you the truth because I was afraid that it would hurt your feelings. So Xiaolang says, I don't care about it. I know I am stupid. I have been liking him for the last 3 years. I came to this university only for him, which my mom didn't like at all, but I did this work by going against her. And I know that I don't hold importance for him. He doesn't care about me at all, but what can I do? I told you that I am not able to move on. I am not able to forget him. Saying this, Xiaolang goes away from her crying. From her words, Fan Xiao also feels bad, and she again comes to Qingzhou and tells him, I wanted to help my friend, but now I am feeling bad. I feel as if I have done something wrong. Now I have understood that just as I don't like people interfering in my life, similarly I should also not interfere in others' lives. Hearing her words, Qingzhou motivates her and tells her, you have not done anything wrong, because if you had done nothing, your friend could have faced even more problems. Here, Xiaolang is talking to Mr. Mai. Mr. Mai tells her, I have learned from your aunt that your mom wants to date someone, but she feels that her relationship will have a bad effect on you. Then Xiaolang remembers her mom's words who had said, when you went to the university, I became very lonely. That's why your aunt fixed a date for me. I met that person once or twice, but now I have started liking him, but I didn't give him any promise. If you say no, I will not stay with him. Our relation depends on you. Then Mr. Mai says to her, I am surprised that if your mom wants to be happy with someone, why are you not letting that happen? So Xiaolang says, it's not like that. I want her to be happy, but I am worried for her. I don't know how that man is. Don't know if he is really interested in my mom or not. He might betray her in the future, won't he hurt her? On this, Mr. Mai says, you don't know about her loneliness. If she is happy with someone, you should let her be happy. Here, Xiaolang understands Fan Xiao's condition and thinks, just as I am worried for my mom, perhaps Fan Xiao was also similarly worried for me. That is why she didn't want to let me date Yi Ran. In class, Fan Xiao and Shu Min were sitting and talking about Xiaolang. Fan Xiao says, I sometimes feel that I made a mistake by exposing Yi Ran, but I did it because I was very concerned about Xiaolang. Shu Min, motivating her, says, no, you have not done anything wrong at all. After this, Xiaolang meets her mom and says to her, don't break your relation with the person you like. If you are happy with him, then I am also happy in it. Live your life according to yourself. as long as you are happy, I respect your decision. Hearing this, Mom becomes a little emotional. Then Xiaolong brings her to Rome and her university. Then Mom sees Fan Xiao there and says, she is your roommate, right? Just then Fan Xiao comes to them and says, hello, and tells her, I am Fan Xiao. So Mom says to her, yes, I know. Whenever Xiaolong is on the call, she always talks about you, that you care a lot for her, you take care of her. And for all this, Xiaolong's mom also says thanks to her. Then both of them together take Mom to show the whole campus. The resentment between Fan Zhao and Xiaolong also ends. In the next scene, we see the struggle in the life of Qingzhou and his friend Lei Dong. Both of them are working on an app project, but they are not getting any investors. Qingzhou says, it's been 3 years, why are talented people like us not getting investors? So Lei Dong says, because we have no personality. But after a lot of investigation, I found 2 such persons who are very useful for us. Showing his photo on the laptop, he says, I am very handsome and attractive, and I look like cute boys. I am a Carrie Wang type person, and you like foot baths, articles, and old things. You come among mature people. Your personality is like Jackson. Hearing his illogical words, Qingzhou says, do you also not like to dip your feet in water? On this, Lei Dong says, you do it because you care a lot about your health, but I soak my feet in warm water to keep myself warm. It's very cold nowadays, right? So I am unable to bear it. Qingzhou says, anyway, the customer for whom we worked last month has not made our payment. We have no money at all now, so will you ask him to make the payment? He picks up his phone and says, I will call him right now. Then we see Xiaolong, who has come to give an interview for a job. But there was a greater need for males there, so it was difficult for Xiaolong to pass the interview. But still, a girl named Mo Lei passes her in the interview and she gets the job. Later, Xiaolong comes to say thanks to Mo Lei, so she says to her, I don't like their rules. They keep people on jobs by looking at gender. Xiaolong starts telling her about herself. Then she tells her, see, Mr. Mai had told me about you. On this, Xiaolong asks excitedly, do you know him? On this, Mo Lei tells her, yes, he is my boyfriend. Hearing this, Xiaolong is even more shocked, and she remembers that she had seen Mo Lei with Mr. Mai before too. Then she asks, did you give me the job only because Mr. Mai told you to do so? So Mo Lei says, it's not like that. I have given you the job seeing your ability. Saying this, she leaves. Then we see Xiaolong's 3 friends in the room. Fan Xiao asks, where is Xiaolong? So Jia Qian tells her, Mr. Mai has searched for a job for her. She has gone to give an interview for that. I think she got the job. Hearing this, Fan Xiao says, I think Mr. Mai likes her. Otherwise, I also need money. Hearing this, Shu Min says, if I were in Mr. Mai's place, I also wouldn't have found a job for you because wherever you go to work, you will give orders as if those people are your servants. After talking a little, the 3 of them sit down to watch a movie. Then we see Xiaolong, who is passing near a restaurant. Just then, Mr. Mai sees her and calls her. Then he introduces Xiaolong to his girlfriend, Mo Lei. Here these 3 are watching a movie. Just then, Xiaolong sends a picture of Mr. Mai with his girlfriend to Shu Min's phone, seeing which the 3 of them are very, very shocked. Fan Xiao says, this girl is as beautiful as me. Why would she date a person like Mr. Mai? On this, Shu Min says, you start praising yourself whenever you get a chance. Then Jia Qian says, I will ask Xiaolong what exactly is going on. Here, Mr. Mai is telling Xiaolong his and Mo Lei's love story. We both were in the same class and I fell in love with Mo Lei on the very first day. I used to talk very little. That's why I didn't know how to start a conversation with her. Therefore, I started following her like a stalker. Then to get Mo Lei's attention, I used to make notes for her. My handwriting was quite good. On this, Mo Lei says, yes, your writing is much better than your face. Then Mr. Mai tells her, Mo Lei likes games. That's why she often bunked class and I used to mark her attendance in her place by imitating her voice. Hearing this, Xiaolong says, if you people were together since school time, then it has been a long time since you've been dating. He tells her, it was not difficult to impress Mo Lei because all the boys on the campus liked her. Hearing this, Mo Lei says, stop it now. But Mr. Mai tells her, I am just telling the truth. And among them, I was the last boy who tried until the end, and finally, I got the chance to date this beautiful girl. Xiaolong was listening to their words very lovingly. Mr. Mai says, do you know what love is? This is love. After that, Mr. Mai leaves from there, so Mo Lei says to Xiaolong, apart from the 2 of us, only you know about our dating, but please keep it a secret for now. Then as soon as Xiaolong returns to the room, her 3 friends are waiting for her very eagerly. Fan Xiao says, we sent you 999 messages, but you didn't answer them. We have been waiting for a long time, so it would be better if you tell us the whole truth. Then Jia Qian says, yes, you cannot hide this breaking news from us. On the force of those three, Xiaolang has to tell them, I will tell you everything about Mr. Mai and his girlfriend. Next morning, Fan Xiao brings the user experience list of Qingzhou's app to him and says, keep our profile at the top in your app. We will give you important information about the user experience. Qingzhou says thank you to her for this. Then Fan Zhao starts telling him, I am not able to find my profile. My account gets logged out again and over again. So many boys are sending messages to Xu Min, but no one sent me any message. Is something wrong with my settings? Then we are shown in a flashback that Qingzhou himself had locked her profile so that no boy could message her because Qingzhou likes her. Fan Xiao tells him to look at her profile. So Qingzhou says, I don't have knowledge about this. There is a mobile shop nearby. Go and show it there. She looks there. Just then she sees Mr. Mai's girlfriend with some boy. Later she tells this thing to Xiaolang too, so Xiaolang says, this cannot happen. You have had some misunderstanding. So Fan Xiao says, this cannot be. That girl was exactly as beautiful as me, and that boy was also not at all like Mr. Mai. But Xiaolang says, you never saw Mole face to face. You must have made a mistake in seeing. And if she was with someone too, it doesn't mean that they are dating. You were also with Qingzhou in the park, so are you two dating? Hearing this, Fan Xiao becomes quiet. The next day, Mr. Mai shows a diamond ring to Xiaolang and tells her, I am going to propose to Mole for marriage. He asks Xiaolang, please help me in this. In the next scene, Xiaolang has come to the theater for some work. Just then, she sees Mole with a boy there. Both were going to watch a movie holding hands. Seeing this, she is very shocked and says, when my friend told me that she saw you with some other boy, I didn't believe her at all, and I took your side. Xiaolang talks to Mole about this. Why are you cheating on him? So she says, it is very difficult to explain everything to you, but don't tell Mole about this yet. I will fix everything and I will not hurt his feelings. Xiaolang asks, do you love Mr. Mai? So she says, yes, I love him. Then Xiaolang talks to her friends about this. Fan Xiao says, will it be okay to not tell Mr. Mai anything? Xiaolang, being worried, says, I don't know what to say to Mr. Mai. And Mole said that she loves him very much, and Mr. Mai has already made a plan to propose to her. In such a situation, what should I do? In the next scene, we see Mr. Mai and his girlfriend who have come to the theater to watch a movie. Xiaolong and her three friends are also there. Mr. Mai leaves from there on the pretext of going to the washroom, and then suddenly their video is shown on the movie screen. There, in front of everyone, he proposes to Mole for marriage. In the next, we see Xiaolong and Mr. Mai drinking together. Right there in a flashback, it is shown to us that Mole had rejected his proposal. Mr. Mai tells her, Mole already had a boyfriend. Those two loved each other very much. But her boyfriend went to the UK for studies, so I thought this is the chance for me. I started taking care of Mole, made every effort to make her happy, but I knew that she does not love me. Some time ago, her boyfriend came back from the UK and I started getting worried about her. I thought giving a marriage proposal would be good, but I was wrong. But I have no regret for it, Xiaolang says. So that means you already knew everything about her boyfriend. The next day, Xu Min says to her friends, do you guys remember that Valentine's Day is coming? All the couples on campus will celebrate this day. Only we four most beautiful girls will remain alone. I wanted to ask you guys, don't you feel lonely? On this, they don't give any reply. So Xu Min says, I don't want to stay single anymore. In a few days, there will be a competition for the cheerleading team. I want to have a boyfriend who sits in the audience and claps for me. And then when the competition ends, he gives me a big bouquet of flowers. Otherwise, I will. Here, Xu Min stops. So Jia Qian asks, otherwise, what will you do? Xu Min says, I will become a nun. Hearing this, Jia Lang and Jia Qian burst into laughter. Then she says to Fan Xiao, as long as you keep standing ahead in our line, all the boys will go towards you. On this, Fan Xiao says in surprise, when did I plan to stand ahead in the line? Xu Min says, whenever we are with you in school or the canteen, you get the most proposals. Xiaolang and Jiaquan also say, yes. Then Xu Min says to her, I feel that you have the most experience about love. So can you teach something to beginners like us? Hearing this, Jia Qian and Xiaolang also start looking toward Fan Xiao with hopeful eyes. Then she also agrees to their words and says, I will give you tips to find your love like a love master. The next day, first of all, Xu Min tries the tips given by Fan Xiao on Zhou Yu. She tells a girl, propose to Zhou Yu so that through his answer, I can understand whether he is the best option for me or not. When that girl proposes to Zhou Yu, he refuses her because he already likes Xu Min, and he says to that girl while making Xu Min hear, I have many flaws and my behavior is very rude. I am afraid that if you stay with me, I will hurt you. Fan Xiao had also said these same sentences and said, if a boy says such things, he is not good. When Xu Min hears all this from Zhou Yu's mouth, she shouts, yes, low-life person. I knew you are like this. I was just trying. And then she also says thanks to that girl and says, with your help, I got to know the truth of this person. Then Shu Min comes to the room and tells her friends, Fan Xiao, I tried the trick you told and it turned out to be absolutely true. I got to know the reality of Zhou Yu. He is not a good boy at all. Another day, she likes a basketball player and goes to him to talk. Fan Xiao had told her, you have to walk very gracefully in front of boys so that they are attracted toward you. That's why Shu Min goes to him walking very swaying. She talks to him about something. Just then, Zhou Yu arrives there, clicking her photos. She says to him angrily, what is your problem? Why do you always keep taking my photos? On this, Zhou Yu says, I saw someone drooling seeing handsome boys, so I recorded it in my camera. Saying this, he leaves. But then Shu Min, thinking something, stops him and says, are you free today? I have to talk to you about something. Then she goes with Zhou Yu to his cafe and tries all the tricks to attract boys told by Fan Xiao on him. She sometimes talks to him in a melodious voice, sometimes touches him indirectly. Then she says to Zhou Yu, can I take a sip from your Coke? She takes a sip and returns the drink to him. And just as he is about to drink, Shu Min says, you drink from the other side, otherwise there will be an indirect kiss between us. Then we see Jia Long, who is going somewhere. Just then she meets Mr. Mai on the way. She starts talking to him. Just then she remembers the tips told by Fan Xiao that if a girl takes out her tongue and smiles while talking, boys get quite impressed. Therefore, she takes out her tongue and talks in front of Mr. Mai in this way. But this thing seems very, very strange to him. So he says to Xiaolang, do you have pain in your teeth? Or is there some problem in your tongue? Then we see Jia Qian, who sees Qingzhou and Lei Dong distributing flyers for their app on the way. She comes to Qingzhou and says, can I help you? So Lei Dong gives her some of his flyers and goes to the other side to distribute. Now only Qingzhou is left there. Then Jia Qian remembers a tip told by Fan Xiao that if girls stretch their bodies look very attractive. With this, boys definitely get attracted. She starts stretching her body in front of Qingzhou in that way. Seeing this, he says to her, have you not rested properly? He immediately takes back his flyers from her and says, find some place nearby and rest. Now what could she say? She says, okay, and leaves. Then we see Shu Min and Zhou Yu. Zhou Yu had come to the campus to drop her and says to her, when you don't argue with me, I find you very cute. So Shu Min says, you are also very good. You say your point directly without talking in circles. Saying this, she touches him. But when Zhou Yu tries to come a little close to her, she gets nervous and runs away from there. Then she comes to the room and tells all her friends that rogue Zhou Yu has become so attracted to me that he will do whatever I tell him to do. If I tell him to jump into some ocean, he will jump. Fan Xiao was also feeling quite proud seeing this, that the tips she told worked. Fan Xiao asks her, if Zhou Yu has become attracted to you, then why don't you date him? So Shu Min says, he is not my type. I saw a boy today, I like him very much. Then Fan Xiao asks Xiaolong, did your attempt to smile with your tongue out succeed? On this, Xiaolong says, I would just like to say that while doing so, I was really looking like some Bulbasaur. Hearing this, Shu Min and Jia Qian burst into laughter. But Fan Xiao says to her, it doesn't matter. You just need a little more practice. Then she asks Jia Qian, how was yours? She says while being a little upset, this didn't work at all. Fan Xiao asks, on which crazy person did you try that trick? On this, she says, it was Qingzhou. Hearing Qingzhou's name, Fan Xiao feels a little uncomfortable because she too had started liking him. Still, she says to Jia Qian, this is not your fault. Anyway, he is not a normal person. You try it on someone else, then my trick will definitely work. Shu Min was behaving so well with Zhou Yu. That's why he also brings her to the restaurant to give a treat. He was very, very happy seeing such loving behavior from Shu Min. Then she says, you must have understood what is happening. Zhou Yu thinks that she is probably talking about their relationship, so he says, yes. On this, Shu Min says, what do you think must Jian have realized it too? Hearing this name, he is shocked. Then Shu Min says, Fan Xiao is giving me tips to make a boyfriend. Using them, I have started talking to him and I feel it's working too. Then she starts telling him, you always used to trouble me. Whenever we met, our fight would start. That's why I thought that if some person who troubles me falls in love with me, then it means the tips are actually working, and I can use them on anyone. I hadn't told you about this before. You are not angry, right? Hearing all this, Zhou Yu says while controlling his anger, not at all. Then Shu Min tells him, to impress Jian, I need a person who is crazy in love with me so that Jean pays more attention to me. Hearing this, Zhou Yu says, okay, so I am that person who is crazy in love. Shu Min asks him, will you help me? So he says, yes, I will, but to meet him, you will have to come only to my cafe. She agrees to this. The next day, Xiumin comes to Zhou Yu's cafe with John and uses that same trick on him, but he gets angry with her and leaves. Then Zhou Yu comes and sits near her, so Xiumin starts asking him, my trick worked on you, then why didn't they have any effect on him? Now, how could Zhou Yu tell her that he already liked her? There was no need for him to use any trick on her, but Xiumin was a little angry. So she gets up and leaves from there. Then soon the day of Xiumin's performance arrives. After the performance, Zhou Yu goes and hugs her in front of everyone. Seeing this, all of Xiumin's friends are very shocked. Zhou Yu says to her, I sat in the audience and saw your performance, hugged you in front of everyone. Just, yes, I didn't have time to bring a bouquet. I will give that to you later. So, would you like to give me a chance? All this was exactly as Xiumin wanted. That's why she was feeling quite shy. Just then, Zhou Yu proposes to her in front of everyone, and she also says yes to him. In the next scene, we see that Fan Xiao tries for a job in acting, modeling, and many places, but she doesn't get a job anywhere. That's why she starts a call service. Then she gets a call from a nursing home. Those people said, we want Fan Xiao's team to come to our old age home and talk to the old people here to entertain them. This was a fairly big order. Seeing this, Fan Xiao becomes very happy and tells all her friends to help her in this work. Then they all together go to the old age home. First of all, Qingzhou and Leidong together play games with some old men to entertain them. But those people put bets of money in that game and don't let them win even once. Because of losing again and over again, those people get sad and leave the game. Regarding this matter, Fan Xiao scolds Qingzhou and Leidong. We have come here to talk to those people to amuse them, but you two turned this game into gambling. Besides, you also won the money of those poor old people. On this, Leidong says, but we are so good at this game that we cannot lose. So she says, tomorrow you two cannot play any such game that gives them happiness. Didn't you see how upset those old men became? These people host a singing program for the old people. Their Fan Xiao was going to sing. Just then, an old man comes, takes the mic from her, and sings a sad song himself. Later, a lady tells Fan Xiao about that man. Earlier, he used to have a hot pot restaurant where mostly people used to come only to hear his song. Hearing this, Fan Xiao says, yes, he sang a very good song even today. Then Fan Xiao asks, why does he stay so upset? So she tells her, he had a divorce early. He had to handle his restaurant and also raise his son at the same time. It was very difficult to handle both these things. Finally, his son left this city for college and never came back, and he became completely alone. Then he came here. Fan Xiao asks, did he ever contact his son? She tells her, I don't know. He never talks about him. Saying this, she goes from there and Fan Xiao stands there and starts thinking something. Just then Qingzhou comes to her and says, are you thinking about your old age, that when you become old, you will come here? So Fan Xiao says, no, even if I become old still, I will roam the whole world. I will travel. Qingzhou, giving her his phone, says, wherever you go, keep your phone with you. Otherwise, other people will not be able to contact you. Then Fan Xiao comes and starts talking to that old man. Who? She asks, how is your son? So he tells her, he is a real estate agent, living a good life. Fan Xiao says, why don't you go and live with him? On this, Hu says, I don't like the food there and I am also not used to the weather there. Then she asks, do you not miss him? So he says, why would I miss him? I have my own life. Then Fan Xiao's dad comes to meet her right there. He says, sorry to her for his mistakes. Fan Xiao asks him, did you ever feel sad that your daughter is so stubborn, always stays angry with you, does not respect you, and I never tried to understand those problems which you have to face? On this, Dad says, I don't think my daughter is like that. She tells him, I met an old man here. He is like you to some extent. He lives here alone. No one has come to meet him in such a long time. He sits alone on the rocking chair all day. I don't want you to become like that one day. Therefore, the mistake you made earlier, don't do it again in your new family and always stay happy. Hearing such words from her, Dad becomes quite emotional. Then he starts talking to her about insurance. The manager will send you a link. You sign it. Dad had taken out insurance for her. Fan Xiao says, I am already working. I don't need your money. So Dad says, I know. You are doing chat service. I saw your moments on WeChat. It is a good thing to be independent. Keep your money for your pocket money. This money will remain for your future. Anyway, I am getting old. Don't know if I will be able to take care of you in the future or not. So Fan Xiao says, okay, I will sign it. On the second day, Fan Xiao and her whole team together talk to all the old people, take very good care of them. Meanwhile, Qingzhou, Leidong, and the boys together repair whatever chairs and tables were broken there, and then they all together take a selfie. Their work is completed, and they come back from there. Next scene we see is of Christmas Day, where all of Fan Xiao's friends have come to a club for a Christmas party. When Fan Xiao reaches there, she sees Jia Qian sitting with Qingzhou. Jia Qian thought, I like him. Seeing both of them together, Fan Xiao feels maybe today Jia Qian is going to confess her feelings to him. That's why Fan Xiao leaves from there. When she is going, just then Qingzhou messages her and asks, "Why didn't you come?" So Fan Xiao says, "I am dancing in the club with my friends, I cannot come." But Qingzhou was coming right behind her and he sees that Fan Xiao goes to a restaurant and sits alone. So he also comes to her and says, "You said that you are with your friends in the club, then what are you doing here alone?" For this, Fan Xiao has no answer at all. Then both sit and start drinking. After drinking a lot, Fan Xiao tells him, "Jia Qian likes you." After this, Fan Xiao's 3 friends were taking her home while handling her, and she was saying in a drunken state, "I have completed my mission." And she catches Jia Qian and says, "Now you are happy, right?" So she says, "Yes, I am happy." She didn't know what Fan Xiao was talking about. Then we see Qingzhou, who, due to being drunk, only remembers that Fan Xiao had said to him, "I like you." He was thinking, did she really say so? Fan Xiao and Jia Long had come to a restaurant. Just then, they find Qingzhou and Lei Dong there. Qingzhou tries to talk to her about last night, but Fan Xiao was ignoring him and trying to go away from him. Qingzhou asks, "Do you remember what you said to me last night?" So Fan Xiao says, "Yes, I remember it well." So Qingzhou says, "Then why are you running away from me?" Just then, Jia Lang comes between them, so Qingzhou tells her, "Go out with me." Then we see Jia Qian, who has come to cheer for her idol, Justin. She is a very big fan of his. Qingzhou comes out and again asks Fan Xiao, "Was what you said last night true?" So Fan Xiao says, "Yes, it is true. You also tell your answer so that we can tell Jia Qian." Hearing this name, he is shocked and says, "So that night you were talking about Jia Qian? But I thought," saying this much, he becomes quiet. But Fan Xiao starts looking intently into his eyes. Just then fireworks start happening. Fan Xiao starts looking at them. Just then, Qingzhou kisses her. And these two finally start dating. But for now, Fan Xiao does not tell Jia Qian about this. But after some time when Jia Qian finds out about this, she is quite hurt. Fan Xiao says, "Sorry," to her and says, "This is my fault. I became selfish because I have also liked Qingzhou for a long time." Then Jia Qian also forgives her. Because they both can like each other, what could she do in this? In the next scene, we see that Shu Min learns from her dad that her mom has cancer, and now she doesn't have much time left. That's why she goes to her home to spend time with her. Dad tells Shu Min, "Currently, we have not let your mom find out that she has cancer so that she can live her life well without any tension." Shu Min also does not let mom find out this thing yet and spends good time with her. After some time, Zhou Yu also arrives there. All 4 spend a good time like a family. Then they all come to a place to roam. There, Shu Min sits and starts talking to her mom. Mom says to her, "A very long journey is ahead of you, which you will have to travel alone. Your mom is going to leave this world very soon." Shu Min starts looking at her in surprise. So Mom says, "What do you both think that I don't know anything? Your grandma also had cancer. I used to always stay in the hospital with her to take care of her. Then how would I not know which medicines are given in cancer?" Then she says, "I didn't have much trouble with this disease, but every day I have to act in front of my daughter and husband as if I don't know anything. This is more difficult." Mom was saying all these things smilingly, but Shu Min was very, very upset and says, "You will get well soon." Mom says, "Yes, I also used to feel the same. I was not able to accept this thing. I still wanted to see my daughter graduate, wanted to see her marriage. There is so much that is still left to do." Shu Min hugs her while crying and says, "I will always be with you." Mom says, "I worry a lot about your dad. Whenever you get time, keep coming to meet him. Keep talking to him." So Shu Min says, "You are his wife. You should stay with him. You have promised to always stay with him." On this, Mom says while laughing, "Yes, I know. I am the most important person in his life, but now you have to come in my place." Then Dad and Zhou Yu also arrive there, and they all leave from there. In the next scene, the funeral of Shu Min's mom is shown, meaning that she had died. All of Shu Min's friends had come there. After everything is done there, Shu Min comes back to the campus with her friends. To make her mood better, her friends bring her to a restaurant. They were all talking, but Shu Min sits quietly. Just then, Xiaolang starts ordering Shu Min's favorite dishes. On this, she starts crying and says, "I have not yet asked my mom what she likes in food, and now I will never even be able to know this." She was crying. That's why her friends quiet her down. In the next scene, we see that Jia Qian had got her dream job, meaning that she was connected with the agency of her idol Justin and was working with them. To know the review of the lyrics of Justin's latest song, his manager Den messages Jia Qian, so she tells him, "I just read the lyrics of his song, but I didn't find them very good." She tells about some shortcomings in them and also tells how to fix them. Next, we see that not Justin's manager, but Justin himself had messaged her. He says to her, "Okay, I will talk to Justin about this, but why are you out so late at night?" Jia Qian starts telling him that she had a lot of work today, and she was very, very busy. Justin tells her, take care of yourself. Jia Qian comes to the room. Then all her friends there had fallen asleep. Xiaolang comes from the washroom. Then she gets scared seeing her and says, "What are you doing so late at night? Today, the work was a bit more." Then she starts telling her, "Because of work, I am not able to pay attention to my personal life at all. Tonight, my mom wanted to come to meet me, but I also put her off by making an excuse." Here, we find out that Jia Qian is doing this job without telling her mom because her mom wants her to study further and go abroad to do some job. But Jia Qian does not want this. Justin is her idol, and she is very happy working with him. Xiaolang says to her, "You should tell your mom about this soon." So Jia Qian says, "Yes, I will find some way to tell her by then." In the morning, Fan Xiao says to Xiaolang, "What job is Jia Qian doing? I have started feeling as if I have not seen her for years. If I had not woken up early today, I would not have been able to see her today either." So Xiaolang asks, "Why did you wake up early today?" So Fan Xiao says, "I also have to do my work." On this, she asks excitedly, "Did you also get a job?" So Fan Xiao says, "Don't know. I will tell you when it is clear." After a while, Jia Qian gets ready and comes to meet her mom. Seeing her shirt, mom says to her, "You have untucked one side of it and tucked the other in. I find this very strange." Jia Qian tells her, "I have brought breakfast for you." But mom says, "This is very oily. It's not right for me." Then she asks, "At what time did you go home last night?" So Jia Qian tells her, "My internship is going on. That's why I don't get much time." Then mom starts talking to her about that exam about which Jia Qian had said, "I have failed by 3 marks." Mom says, "I can understand when you found out that you failed by 3 marks. You must have felt very bad." After this, she starts telling her about the other exam, that she can prepare for it too. Meanwhile, Jia Qian was just quietly nodding her head at her talk, and she was getting messages from the agency. That's why she says to mom, "Currently, I have a meeting. It is very important for me to go there. That's why I will meet you tonight. We will talk about this then." Saying this, she leaves. Seeing her running away like this, mom says, "She is really very, very busy." Jia Qian comes to the agency. Then there she finds out that an actor has become angry over something, and he is not doing further shooting. But then Jia Qian and her boss together somehow convince him, and he agrees to work. For this, the boss praises Jia Qian. Seeing this, one of her colleagues, Qi, becomes very, very jealous of her. Jia Qian says, "Bye," to her and leaves, but she gives no reply. Then she messages her mom and tells her, "My work has just ended, and now it is quite late. That's why I will not be able to come for dinner with you." Saying this, she comes back to the campus. The next day, Jia Qian says to her boss, "Can I stay in the company's room at night? Because I am currently living in the hostel and my roommates wake up when I go late at night." On this, the boss says, "You can share the room with Qi." The marketing department girl who lived with her has just left the job. Then Jia Qian talks to Qi about this. "I just found out from the boss that a room is vacant in your apartment." So she asks, "Are you going to live there?" So Jia Qian tells her, "Because of the show recording, I have to work overtime. I always return late at night. It wakes my roommates up." She says to Jia Qian, "I will tell you the room lock by messaging you." Then we see Jia Qian's mom, who was talking to a lady about Jia Qian's exam result. She has failed by only 3 marks. Just then, that lady checks her result. Then they find out that she had not even given that exam. Then we see Jia Qian, who is standing outside Kui's room, but she had not told the room lock yet. Jia Qian messages her, but she does not reply. Then she calls her, but she does not reply to that either. Then we see Jia Qian's mom, who had come to the place where Jia Qian had told her that she was doing an internship. But there, mom finds out that no girl named Jia Qian works here. After knowing this, she gets even angrier, and she comes straight to her hostel to meet her. Jia Qian asks her, "What have you come to do here?" So mom asks her very angrily, "Where were you?" On this, she is shocked. Then mom asks her, "Why are you lying to me?" She angrily knocks down a box in which Justin's photos were kept. Seeing this, mom gets even angrier and says, "Jia Qian, are you also going crazy seeing actors and stars like other foolish people? In which direction have you come? What happened to that exam of yours? And what about that internship you told about? How can you lie thoughtlessly in front of me? I have taught many students in my life, but I was unsuccessful in giving good education to my daughter. Now, how will I be able to trust you in the future?" She keeps listening to her talk quietly. Then she says while crying, "Can you let me live in peace? I have neither given the exam nor applied for any internship. I am working as a talent liaison." But she had only thought about saying all this. She didn't have the courage to speak it. Picking up the photos, she says to her mom, "The thing which you don't like, can I also not like it? What you think is wrong, can I not think it is right? You were similarly rude at home, and you were the same in school too. All my classmates were afraid of you and hated me. do you know why I started liking Justin? When no one talked to me, then I used to listen to his songs. I felt as if through those lyrics he was talking to me. His songs gave me courage, made me realize that I can do what I want alone. You always try to make me complete the goals given according to you, but you never cared about this, what I want to do, what kind of life I want to live. It never makes a difference to you. Then she tells her about her job and says, I like this, and I give it a lot of importance. Saying this, she leaves the room. Her mom, who was quiet until now, starts crying as soon as she leaves. Just then, Fan Xiao and Shu Min arrive. Here, Jia Qian was again calling Kui to know the door password, but when she does not receive her call, Jia Qian sits outside. Just then, she gets a message from the manager Den, that is Justin. He starts telling her that her colleague is not opening the room, because of which she is sitting outside. Hearing this, Justin starts worrying about her. Here, Shu Min was handling Jia Qian's mom, and Fan Xiao was calling her, but she was not receiving her call. Therefore, Mom also starts worrying about Jia Qian. Mom comes near their company looking for her. Right there, Justin also had come looking for her. Mom asks Justin the way to the company. When he finds out that she is Jia Qian's mom and has come to look for her, he tells them the way and leaves from there. Then we see Kui, who comes to Jia Qian after drinking a lot. Jia Qian asks her, why didn't you tell me the lock? And why are you not receiving my call? Hearing this, Kui starts fighting with her. Just then, Jia Qian's mom comes and scolds her and says, my daughter has not committed any mistake, so if you trouble her again, it will not be good for you. Then she takes Jia Qian and leaves from there. Mom asks her, tell me about your job. Then Jia Qian tells her everything in detail and says, this is the kind of work I am doing. After knowing everything, Mom also does not have any problem with her work, and she also supports her. In the next scene, we see that when Fan Xiao doesn't get any job, she opens a bubble tea shop of her own. Lei Dong says to her, I feel that opening a bubble tea shop is not a good idea. A lot of money must have been spent in the rent of the shop and all these things. So Fan Xiao tells him, my mom, dad, and Qingzhou, these are my shareholders. As soon as he hears this, he asks Qingzhou in surprise, how much money did you invest? Qingzhou tells him, not much. Then Lei Dong leaves after saying, deliver 5 cups of bubble tea to my home. In the day, Fan Xiao works at her shop, and as soon as night falls, her shop gets closed. She is very upset and says to Qingzhou, I will return your money to you. Then she starts telling very sadly, all 3 of my roommates have got good jobs, but I have not achieved anything yet. Qingzhou says to her, why are you thinking so negatively? Great people have become rich only while trying. So she says, I don't want to become great. I just want to earn so much money with my talent that I can take whatever I want, buy whatever I want, and when I get tired, I can go roaming. Qingzhou says, don't be troubled. Your dreams will also be fulfilled. So Fan Xiao asks, when will they be fulfilled? Whatever work I have done until now, I have not been successful in any. Then Qingzhou says, I am thinking, why don't you join us? Our startup is small right now, but I am sure that we will definitely move forward in the future. You can help us with your talent, she asks. But what is my talent? So Qingzhou says, you are beautiful. On this, she bursts into laughter and says, I cannot earn money with my beauty. Then she agrees to join their team. She comes home and gives her 3 friends the money invested in her bubble tea shop. When they see those money, they are quite surprised and start asking Fan Xiao, have you won some lottery? So she says, if I had really won some lottery, would I still be sitting here? She tells them, my shop has closed. Hearing this, everyone is upset for her. So Fan Xiao says, it doesn't matter. I have got used to facing such failure. This has happened before too. From the next day, Fan Xiao joins Qingzhou's team. And from the very first day, she makes many changes in their work, which Lei Dong does not like. Then the 3 of them, again, come to meet an investor for their app, but their work does not happen there either. After knowing the details of the app, they do not like it much and they refuse to invest in it. And these 3 return from there being upset. Fan Xiao comes to the room. Then she sees that Shu Min is drinking bubble tea. She asks her, why did you buy this tea? So Shu Min says, your tea shop closed down, so you cannot stop us from drinking this. Fan Xiao says, this shop was exactly next to my shop. That's why all my customers went to them. I also tasted it, but its taste was not as good as my bubble tea. But their marketing is very good, and that's why their shop is running well. Then she sits and starts thinking about this matter, and the next day talks to Qingzhou and Lei Dong about this. Why don't we put our money in the marketing and promotion of this app? On this, Lei Dong says, marketing and promotion is very expensive. So Fan Xiao says, I have done investigation. For a small startup team like ours, it is best that we hire a click farm. Lei Dong explains to her, you don't know much about these things yet. That's why I am just telling you this much, that it is not right to do all this. If something could happen by doing so, we would have already done all this before. Qingzhou also says, Lei Dong's point is correct. We don't do click farming because it is not right for our app. But Fan Xiao does not understand their point. and she leaves from there being angry. Then, without telling Qingzhou and Leidong, she gets click farming done for the app. After a while, Qingzhou sees that very high ratings have come on his app at the same time. On the other hand, Leidong had found an investor. He was talking to him only. But when he looks at the performance of the app, he suddenly becomes troubled. Here, Fan Xiao was very happy seeing very high ratings on the app after getting click farming done. She was feeling that Qingzhou would also be just as happy, that's why she calls him. As soon as he sees her call, Leidong tells him to put the phone on speaker and speaks to Fan Xiao himself. He asks, "What have you done?" She tells him, "I have given money to a click farm to create fake ratings." On this, Leidong says while shouting at her, "Are you crazy? You are using that money for these useless things which we kept to pay our workers their payments. Do you want to ruin us?" Qingzhou, making him quiet, says to Fan Xiao, "You have done this wrong." So she says, "But its result is good. The rating of our app is increasing." Qingzhou says, "I had told you that we are not running after fake ratings. All this is not as easy as you think." At this, Fan Xiao also gets angry at him and says, "What do you think whatever I do is all easy and it is all wrong?" Over the same matter, a quarrel occurs between the two and she hangs up the phone. The next day when Fan Xiao is in the canteen with her friends, Min tells them Qingzhou's app is not opening. So Fan Xiao says, "Maybe you haven't updated it." Just then, Qian says, "Mine is not opening either." Xiaolong also says, "Mine is not opening either." Then she looks in her phone, then in that too, the app was not opening. Seeing this, she immediately goes to Qingzhou's house. Then she sees that the people working with him were leaving the work and going. She asks Qingzhou, "Why is the app not opening?" So he tells her, "Our app has been removed from the App Store." She asks, "What is the reason for it?" Just then, Leidong comes and says to her, "First, you yourself broke the rules and now you've come to know the reason." Fan Xiao says, "Can we not launch that app again by giving it some new name? You had also found that investor, right?" On this, Leidong says while shouting at her, "When our app is not on the App Store at all, then is some investor crazy who will invest in it?" Hearing this, Fan Xiao feels very, very bad that their hard work was ruined by her mistake. She starts saying, "Please forgive me." On this too, Leidong starts shouting at her, "You're saying sorry is not enough. Nothing will change by saying sorry. Do you know for how long a time I and Qingzhou had worked hard on this? But you ruined us and now you think that you're saying sorry is enough?" Then he says to Qingzhou, "I don't know what is going to happen to this app further, but now whatever happens, I will not work with her. Therefore, you will have to choose one of us two." Saying this, he leaves. Then Fan Xiao tells her friends about this. "I have seen them making every possible effort to bring the app back, like contacting the App Store, filling different forms, but I cannot do anything. All this has happened due to my mistake, but I am not doing anything to fix it." Then they all advise to Fan Xiao to correct her mistake. Then at night, Fan Xiao gets many flyers of that app printed and brings them. Giving some of them to Xiaolong, she says, "You take these to your company and distribute them to everyone and see that they definitely download the app. We need downloads, not user ratings." So Xiaolong says, "Why do you want to distribute these flyers again?" So she says, "It is better than doing nothing. This method is a little old, but I had only this option in my mind." Xiaolong says, "Okay, I, Jia Qian, and Xu Min, all three together will help you." Then we see Zhou Yu, who is distributing those flyers to all the customers in his cafe and also telling them to download the app. Xu Min had given him this work. He tells Xu Min, "I have made everyone download. Among them, many people have also sent me friend requests on the app." So she asks, "Did boys or girls?" So he says, "What do you think? After having such a lovely girlfriend, will my eyes be on any other girl?" Then we see Xiaolong. She too is giving flyers to all her colleagues and telling them to download the app. Here, the boy working with Qingzhou tells him, "After 3 weeks of no progress on our app, there is a little progress today." Hearing this, Leidong says to him, "Come, let's eat instant noodles to celebrate." Then we see Fan Xiao, who was busy distributing flyers to everyone on the road, and after telling them about the app, was also telling them to download. Just then, Qingzhou messages her. She says to him, "I am busy right now, we'll talk after reaching the hostel." Then we see Jia Qian, who had to go to meet Justin's manager Den for some work. But there she finds out that Den is not Justin's manager, but Justin himself, meaning that she was talking to Justin himself for so many days. Knowing this, she is very, very happy. Justin says to her, "To tell the truth, I have even met your mom once." Jia Qian asks, "When and how?" He tells her, "On a dark and stormy night, I told her the way forward." Here, Justin agrees to that work which Jia Qian had come to talk about. Along with that, he also gives her a chance to work with him, which was a very big thing for Jia Qian. Then we see Fen Xiao, who was going to Zhou Yu's cafe and telling all the customers coming there about the app and getting it downloaded. After this, she also says, thank you to Zhou Yu for his help. So he says, this mission was given to me by my to-be wife, so of course I had to complete it properly. Then Fan Xiao goes to the shopping mall. Right there, Qingzhou comes to meet her and asks, why are you not seen for quite a while? So she tells him, I am spending time only in the shopping mall. Many people live here who are quite useful for us. She also shows him the flyers. Qingzhou asks, were you doing all this alone? So Fan Xiao says, you guys have brought the app back to the App Store with great difficulty. That's why I thought that I should also do something. Qingzhou tells her, yes, that's why there has been a lot of progress in the downloads of our app. Hearing this, she feels good that her hard work came of some use. Then Fan Xiao gives him a report in which she had written about the user experience in great detail. He is quite impressed seeing that because this time Fan Xiao had really worked hard. Then he brings Fan Xiao back into his team. Seeing her there, first Lei Dong is not very happy, but when Fan Xiao gives him Coke, he takes it from her hand. Then Qingzhou shows him that report, seeing which he too finds out that Fan Xiao has really worked hard for their app, so his anger also ends. Then we see Xu Min and Zhou Yu. Zhou Yu introduces Xu Min to his parents, and they together have a family photo shoot. Then, the day of the graduation ceremony for all of them arrives. Mr. Mai clicks photos of these 4 girls. After this, Xiaolong had to go to Beijing for a job, so Mr. Mai comes to drop her. While going, Xiaolong confesses her feelings to him and says, that night when I was standing outside your door, then I was very troubled. I was not able to breathe properly. You said that my love is just my illusion, which will end one day. I thought about the words you said for a long time, and today I want to tell you that I like you very much, whatever you may think, but I have love for you in my heart, and it will always remain. Saying this, she starts leaving. So Mr. Mai says, take care of yourself in Beijing. Then Xiaolong meets all her friends and leaves from there. Then after some time, we see that other girls come to live in that hostel room, and there they find the names of these 4 written on the table and chair. In the last scene, we see Fan Xiao distributing flyers with Qingzhou and Lei Dong. Fan Xiao says to Qingzhou, how much time has passed and you people are still distributing flyers in the university? So Qingzhou says, we are progressing slowly. One day, this small startup of ours will become a very big company. The 3 of them start distributing flyers again. Just then, Fan Xiao sees a girls' group whose 4 girls were exactly like her group. Seeing them, Fan Xiao remembers her friends and she messages them, I am missing you. And with this, the happy ending of this drama occurs.